The infrastructure of the financial system is shifting toward digital formats, and for U.S. investors, the window to secure a strategic advantage is closing. Those relying on traditional bank vaults are finding themselves on the wrong side of a major wealth transfer as capital begins to move on-chain. While public perception suggests the government is at war with crypto, the internal reality is different. Leadership at the Securities and Exchange Commission, the federal agency that regulates U.S. financial markets, has quietly initiated a pivot to protect and incubate digital assets. We are tracking these regulatory shifts as they happen. Subscribe to the channel now to ensure you receive our timeline alerts the moment these new laws take effect. In this video, we will break down the mechanics of the Clarity Act, the new rules for tokenized markets, and how you can position your portfolio before the institutional capital arrives. This institutional shift is being led by SEC Chairman Paul Atkins. Atkins has officially announced the ACT strategy, standing for Advance, Clarify, and Transform. This initiative is designed to end the era of regulation by enforcement, where the agency used lawsuits instead of clear guidance to govern the market. By creating a regulatory sandbox, the SEC is removing the threat of arbitrary subpoenas. This provides a safe environment for U.S. developers to innovate without the constant risk of legal attack. A predictable regulatory environment is the primary requirement for large-scale institutional investment. By moving from a hostile stance to a protective one, the SEC is building the foundation necessary for Wall Street to move into the digital asset space. The first results of this new strategy are already emerging from SEC headquarters. Under this new regime, the SEC has explicitly named XRP a digital commodity. A commodity is a basic good or raw material in commerce that is interchangeable with others of its type. This classification removes the threat of XRP being treated as an unregistered security. Stuart Alderati, the chief legal officer at Ripple, noted that the government's crypto task force has finally delivered the market clarity that investors have been seeking. To see the raw SEC filing documents for yourself, join our Telegram channel via the QR code on screen or the link in the description. We post these source materials before they hit the mainstream news cycle. XRP's status as a commodity provides the legal precedent required to unlock the rest of the market. It offers a blueprint for how other digital assets can achieve long-term regulatory compliance. While the SEC provides clarity on tokens, Congress is addressing the legislative bottlenecks. At the Blockchain Summit 2026, the gridlock surrounding financial laws broke. U.S. official Patrick J. Witt confirmed that lawmakers have reached a durable compromise on the stablecoin yield issue. A stablecoin is a cryptocurrency pegged to a stable asset like the U.S. dollar, and the dispute over who gets to keep the interest on those dollars has stalled progress for years. Witt described the stablecoin agreement as the major domino blocking the Clarity Act. With this resolved, the primary obstacle is removed. Analysts expect the market structure bill to pass rapidly through Congress as the digital dollar architecture is settled. Resolving how yields are handled was the final piece of financial plumbing needed before traditional institutions could move trillions of dollars onto the blockchain. This legislative movement in the U.S. is being closely monitored by foreign finance ministers and global central bankers. The passage of the U.S. Clarity Act provides a regulatory playbook that other nations are expected to follow. Because the U.S. financial system is a central hub for global liquidity, other countries will likely adopt similar digital asset frameworks to ensure their markets remain compatible. The next major catalyst occurs on Wednesday, March 25th. The House Financial Services Committee will host a hearing titled Tokenization and the Future of Capital Markets. Tokenization is the process of converting the ownership rights of an asset into a digital token on a blockchain. This hearing highlights a coordinated vision between the SEC, the CFTC, and the DTCC. The DTCC is the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation, which handles the settlement of nearly all U.S. securities. Together with the CFTC, the agency that regulates derivatives, they are planning the transition of traditional capital markets to blockchain infrastructure. We want to hear your outlook on this hearing. Tell us your positioning strategy for March 25th in our upcoming YouTube community post. With the agencies that settle trades and the agencies that regulate them all aligning on a single roadmap, the transition to tokenized markets has moved into its final implementation phase. Early positioning is the only way for investors to navigate this change in how global assets are held and traded. But the March hearing is only part of the story. The DTCC is also preparing a systemic update to the derivatives market that will launch much sooner than the public expects. Click the card in the top right to see the full timeline.
Stay ahead in the crypto market. Subscribe now for the latest global news and updates.